Hey, welcome back YouTube. As the title of the video suggests, are these Poulan saws worth it? So this is going to go into rants too about fanboys and crap like that. So if you watch the channel, you know I like all chainsaws. I'll give every chainsaw a chance. These Poulans are no different. That Home Light Chinese one, that's just in a box. I don't know if I'll do anything with that one though, because that once I cleaned off the aluminum transfer, it had like 90 psi compression, so that's backward. But anyways, this is about the Poulans, like this. So you take a Poulan like this, you can get these practically free. This is a 2150 38cc saw, I believe. Are they garbage? Well, yes and no. So my personal opinion, any saw that comes with aluminum bore and a chrome piston is a throwaway saw, or parts of it are, because like this is the cylinder that came off of here. It's a 38 millimeter aluminum bore. Where the hell's the piston? The piston's around here somewhere. Well, anyways, the piston's around here somewhere, but it's a chrome plated piston. Oh, here it is. Chrome plated piston, aluminum bore. That's Poulan did that, started in the 70s with like the 3400. And 3400s, a good one might give you 140 psi compression. These brand new, if it's a really good one, after it's broken in, you might get 140 psi. That's it. Aluminum bore. If crap gets in there, it's going to score the bore. Then you need a new cylinder. It's not like you can just replace the piston, because the piston is the harder part of the equation, which I don't understand that. Anyways, are they worth it? So this saw I bought with two other saws, so 3 saws for 40 bucks Canadian. So this saw is $13.33. It ran, oh my god, but I wanted to improve it. So let's break this down. So I bought a aftermarket cylinder for $18 Canadian off Amazon, shipped to my door. I had to buy with some other things to get $35 or $25 or whatever to get free shipping. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. So you get the aftermarket piston. Well, it's 41.1 millimeter, so it brings the saw up to 42 cc's. Fine. It's a plated bore with it looks like nickel, whatever you want to call it, plated bore, and a 2-ring piston, whereas these guys are single ring pistons. So Chinese stuff, you usually get too much squish, and this is no different. I made a pop-up piston, but even without that, you'd probably still get more compression than you would with the OEM aluminum cylinder. So okay, so you upgraded that, so that's $18 Canadian. I changed the bearings. The bearing and crank seal kit was $6. I looked back, $6 from China, from AliExpress. That's to my door here in Canada, $6 Canadian. I'm not putting this on yet, but it's a new clutch setup. This was $7, again, to my door from AliExpress. And it's a rim drive one, but it's a 325 rim. I want to play with the 325 or the 3/8 low profile chain first. So this isn't going on right away. It will eventually, or I'll put on something. I think I actually bought this to go on the Poulan Pro 255. But all the Poulan saws basically take the same clutch. In the same era. I wasn't until I got the Strata ones where they started having inboard clutch and things changed a bit. But anyway, so that's 12, 6, 7. So that's for $32. $32, better cylinder, better clutch, new bearings. Now I need an air filter for this. I have one around. I haven't looked for it yet, but I might order a new one because the air filters, there's so many parts available for these, and they're cheap. And so you're probably saying, well, it's cool, it's crap. Well, they're crap because, like a lot of homeowner saws, people buy them, put crap gas in them, leave them with gas in for a few years, and go to start them and they won't start because the fuel lines are all rotted all to hell. Or the carbs plug with sludge. That's what happens to these. But you want to compare this to other saws. So, I mean, you can buy these used for almost free. And if you like tinkering on saws, you know, whatever, they're a good value because you can buy these parts. And people say, oh, they won't last, the bottom ends. Well, I'm just going to give an example. You get to older Poulan saws, stuff like the 3700, 4200. The 4200, which is 65 cc's, I think. Something like that, 65, 69 cc's. This is the PTO bearing. This is the bearing they use, caged needle bearings. That's what a big saw like that uses. The Homelite XL12 used to use the same saw, same bearings on both sides. Super XL used this on the flywheel side. It had a roller bearing on the PTO side. And what am I getting at? Well, these saws use a big roller bearing like that. So that's better than this. So I mean, the bottom end on this is probably tougher than the bottom end on a Poulan 4200. Like seriously, that's not where this is going to fail. This will fail other places, obviously, because I mean this is a Chinese cylinder. It's probably fine, but whatever. So what else can fail on this? Nothing really. It's got a wall row carb. Kits for these carbs are almost nothing. You can get new carbs for them for almost nothing. So again, I want to, if you think these are crap and claim that these are crap, please leave it in the comments and let me know why they're crap, because if you can't tell me why they're crap, your opinion is kind of not valid if you don't have an actual reason. So these saws run, maintenance, they'll be fine. They're not a pro saw, but let's compare this to more modern saws. Like this is, I made a pop-up, so this is probably going to have over 160 psi when I'm done. So this saw is going to be a hot little saw. But then people buy Husqvarnas, and I like Husqvarna, so don't get me wrong, like I love a brand new Husqvarna, but I mean, unless you're into the better saws, like the 4 series, all the 4 series are no better than this thing. Like most of the 4 series, the smaller ones, like the 2 series that they make now, like the 240 or the 135, those are all rebranded Poulans to begin with. But even when you get to the bigger 4 series, like the Rancher series, like the 450 Rancher, 460 Rancher, those saws, I mean, they run, they're fine, you maintain them, they'll probably last you, but they really aren't built any better than this. In fact, one could argue they're worse because 1, they're Strato, and 2, the bottom of the crankcase is plastic almost. It's part of the plastic casing. At least this engine is all metal, where those Husqvarna Ranchers, half the crankcase is plastic, and you ride it hot and stuff starts melting. That saw is just a garbage saw. So those Rancher series truly are throwaway saws, in my opinion. In some ways, you could argue these are built better, especially if you have Poulan Pro version that already came with the plated cylinder. Again, people just think they're crap because people don't know how to maintain a saw. So like this saw will be a hot little saw. It's ported. It's got pretty damn decent compression for what it is. And are they crap? For a person like me who likes to tinker on saws, these are fun to play with because you can make them so much better. Like this one will be so much better for under $40 Canadian. I sunk into it. It's gonna be a fun little saw. And they're light. I mean, this has no anti-vibe, but that really doesn't bother me. If I was a professional, yeah, anti-vibe would probably be good, but I don't know. This will be a hot little saw. I gotta do a few more things to it. I added a tank vent because the fuel lines fuel filters sit on the bottom here. It's in a bad spot. But anyways, this will be a fine saw. Like there will be nothing wrong with this. This saw will probably run for years the way it is. I mean, and will it outcut anything? I don't know. I'd rather have this than a fucking Rancher series Husqvarna, the new Rancher series. The older Rancher series were fine back when they were proper saws with removable cylinder and stuff. But the new ones with the bottom plastic crank, I don't know. It's not my jam. But the thing is, I don't like fanboys. And you get fanboys that I dealt with one about the. I don't even get into it. Sometimes people are so blinded by fanboy mentality that's like, oh, well, I own it, it's gotta be the best thing. And I'm a person who buys myself a new truck every 2 years, just because. So every time I buy a new truck, whether it's the Super Duties I had, the 21 Ranger, and now the Nissan, you go into the Facebook pages and you just get all this fanboy mentality. It's all because I own it, so it has to be the best. Like you get the amount of people that own Nissan Frontiers, the new ones, that talk about how crappy the Tacomas are. Well, Tacoma was the best-selling truck, mid-sized truck in North America. There's nothing wrong with them. I had issues with them because the engine they had were a little underpowered. Drum brakes on the back up until 2023. That's kind of weird. And the seating position I don't like. So I just personally don't like that. Things with the 2024 Tacomas, I could make a list of why they're probably better than the Frontier. But you try to tell this to the fanboys, it's like, no, no, no. And same thing with the Ranger. And the Ranger was really weird because they were ragging on other companies. But the worst thing was we were on a Ranger forum that was like encompassing all Rangers. How you got these people with their crap bag 95 Ranger saying how much it's so much better than the new ones, which it's complete opposite because the new ones are superior in every given way. But it's fanboy mentality. I don't like that. There's no point. I mean, you want to argue with people that something's better than something, at least have factual facts behind it. I mean, is this better than a Husqvarna 450 Rancher? I don't know. Ported, that thing's ported, has good compression, could have more power. Like seriously, like it's 8 cc's less, but maybe it'll cut one. And the thing is, like I said, you can get a saw like this for free and put it together and you know what, in for $50. Where the guy that bought the 450 Rancher, like here in Canada, those things go for $629 Canadian. The 460 Rancher goes for $800. I was talking with Jim from Jim Saws and stuff and just going on a rant about this because for $800 you can get yourself an Echo 501P, which is a pro saw, just 3 pounds lighter, has more power than the Husqvarna 460 Rancher, and it's easier to work on because it's a proper saw with a case and a removable cylinder. Like it's a better saw for the same money. But people are like, oh no, Husqvarna's the best. I say, yeah, Husqvarna makes crap, Steel makes crap, Echo makes crap. They all make crap and they all make good saws. Poulan unfortunately doesn't make good saws, but you could argue that since the low-level Poulans are the same as the base Husqvarnas, you know, right? You see where I'm getting with that. Like, I really don't think the 450 Rancher was much different from the Poulan 5020, except that 5020 has different transfers. But anyways, that's it. It's got a bit of a rant. I'm going to finish putting this together. I got to find the air filter. Although it's winter, I'd probably don't have to run one right now. But yeah, find an air filter. Hopefully get to see in the wood. It's got so much compression for what it is. Like, my put-on test is at over, if you didn't watch that video, it was over 150 as it sits. Once it breaks in, it'll probably be over 160, which is at least 20 psi over the best example of a factory one. Most of the factory ones usually run around 120, 130 psi cold. Anyways, that's it. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. It's snowing here. It's minus 16 Celsius today. By next Saturday, we're up to plus 9 Celsius. That'd be in the 40s in the Fahrenheit scale. But anyways, take it easy.